please welcome Catapult Games and Don't Look Down.
Hello, everybody. I know you're looking forward to getting to the networking, and this has run on for a while, so I'll be short, I'll be sweet, I'll keep it to what you want to hear about. So, we are Catapult Games. We are a virtual reality game development company based out of New York's capital region. We were founded upon the realization that VR is this amazing technology that has near limitless potential for video games, but we realized, as a lot of you who have no doubt gotten into VR games have noticed, that the quality of VR games that you get often doesn't compare to the quality of games that you get in non-VR games. The idea for our company came when I got a PSVR for Christmas a year and a half ago, and I was so enthralled by this amazing new technology, and I was inundated with all these ideas of the limitless potential for the video games that could be made, but a lot of these games weren't being made. They were too short, they didn't have a lot of depth or variety to their mechanics, there wasn't often a lot of replay value, a lot of these games were making people VR sick. We realized that this is an issue, and we believe that VR gamers should be getting the games that they want but aren't getting. So, we are rectifying this problem with our product. It is a virtual reality climbing game called Don't Look Down, inspired by classic 2D platformers like Super Mario Bros. Our main movement system for the game, the climbing, is really its main selling point. It's very physically immersive. As you'll see in a minute, you actually move your hands around to climb yourself through the game, and as a result of that, it's very accessible, everyone understands that, and it has a very low chance of causing VR sickness, which, as I mentioned, is a big problem in the market at the moment. We combine this movement system with classically video gamey elements like power-ups, bonus rooms, enemies, those sorts of things, to give our game the mechanical depth that the more hardcore gamers are looking for. We like to believe that our main mechanics for the game have an approachably low skill floor, but a very engagingly high skill ceiling, such is the reason why games like Super Mario Bros. Were very successful, because this is a formula that leads naturally to a very broad appeal. We're pursuing a variety of partnerships and talent. We are looking to get our game, in addition to on stores like Steam, Oculus Home, we're looking to get our game into VR arcades. We are already in one. It is called Toxic VR, based in Clifton Park, New York, and we are looking to extend that and get our game into a variety of other VR arcades. We're also pursuing relations with physical therapy clinics based off of research showing the therapeutic benefits of VR. We think this could be a much more fun and enjoyable way to get some light physical therapy. We are also always looking to get our game out there to streamers in the YouTube Let's Play community, on Twitch, and additionally, we're currently looking to hire a game programmer. So any of you Unreal devs, please shoot me an email after this. In the future, we'll certainly be looking to hire on more coders, artists, designers, etc. Our game is in alpha at the moment. You can find it on itch.io. That is the link to our website. We encourage you... Oh, there we go. Was this off the whole time? I hope not. We encourage any of you who want to reach out to us to do so on our website. And without further ado, I will start the demonstration segment. Bam, there we go. As I mentioned, the movement system is really the core of our game. It's our bread and butter. Without this, our game would not be what it is. Oh, you even get the game audio. That's nice. So as you can see, the movement in our game is very physically immersive. You are actually moving your hands to grab onto what you want to climb onto, and as a result, it's very easy for people to pick up, and there's a low chance of causing VR sickness. Additionally, all of those video game elements I talked about, the enemies, the power-ups, the bonus rooms, they give our game a lot of depth and variety that a lot of other VR games are lacking. There are other VR climbing games out there on the market, but a lot of them focus rather one-dimensionally on their movement mechanics and don't really supplement the game, flesh it out with these other fun video gamey systems. We certainly, what was I trying to say? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Bonus rooms are another important part of the video game, as they provide incentive to explore, and they provide challenge to those who want some difficulty with their video games. Somebody who likes Dark Souls, if you will. We believe that these systems combine to give our game the great approachability that games like Super Mario Bros. Enjoy, but also, as you can see, great reward that comes with mastering the game's movement systems and effortlessly flying through everything. At the moment, as you will notice, we are using what I like to think of as placeholder plus art assets. This isn't the way our game is going to finally end up looking, and we fundamentally believe that upgrading the aesthetics of our game to match the feeling that we're trying to instill in the player is a big recipe for success. I fundamentally believe that there's a part of everyone that would love to get lost in this sort of carefree, fun, video gamey world. And currently, there's no other games like this out on the market. Otherwise, we would not have made it. Our game is in alpha at the moment that I mentioned on itch.io, and it is feature complete, which means that for the remainder of our development cycle, we just have to add more content, more enemies, more levels. Should be an easy way for us to get to the amount of content that we ultimately want to get. As I commented on, a lot of pain point that VR gamers are experiencing is the games are too short, and we believe we will have enough time to be able to flesh out our game into a fully fledged 8 to 10 hour player experience. All of the designs that I've talked about are coming together in order to match the design formulae that the classic 2D platformers road to success. And we believe that porting this into virtual reality, this incredibly new medium of gaming, will give us the chance of success to perhaps be the so-called killer app that VR has been looking for, if I may be so bold. We are Catapult Games, and we want to help you launch yourself into virtual reality. And with that, thank you. And with that, I am glad to take your questions. Yes, sir.
I have two questions, but they might be one.
Sure.
I plan on adding a second game to this. If you have a platform where other people can
So the question is, are we considering ways that players could add content to the games? That's certainly something that we have considered. It's a possibility. We could very easily take the tools that I, as the lead game designer, use to create the levels and make them available to other players to try to make their own content. It's not something that's currently in the game, but it's certainly something that we would consider adding if we think that consumers would like that. Yes?
Can you imagine a multiplayer scenario simultaneously?
Very easily, yes. I think the two main ways that we could incorporate multiplayer into the game would be to have friends race each other throughout the levels, seeing ghosts, if you will, of where the other players are. We'd also consider simultaneous two-player co-op, sort of like there was in Super Mario World, for example, where the players switch on and off, and you can watch what the other player is doing as he does it.
So the question to you was esports?
Esports. That's certainly the hot new thing nowadays. I don't see why not. I don't see why there couldn't be a Don't Look Down speedrunning championships, you know? Yes?
So I know that Kinect has its own version of climbing, which is similar. How do you plan to compete with, say, something like Kinect, which has climbing and sports games that exist, which do a similar platform without having to invest right now at least in a $300 headset?
I would say a lot of that comes down to the particulars of our game's design. As I commented, a lot of the existing climbing games out there are focusing too one-dimensionally on their movement mechanics, and once you figure them out, there's not a whole lot left for you to do in those games. And we think that combining that sort of immersive movement system of the game with all the classically video game elements will give us that depth that the true hardcore gamers out there are really looking for. We think that's the biggest thing that VR gamers want but aren't currently getting. And we think that's what would make us stand out. Yes?
So do you guys plan to incorporate haptics into the game so that not only people can get feedback visually, but also get, touching sensations and other visual properties?
There's some of that in the game already. It's, we don't have haptic gloves or anything like that, but on the existing VR controllers, there are buzzes, and we use that as an extra type of feedback to cue the player into what's going on in the game. As far as integrating our game with existing, more advanced haptic feedback technologies, I would love to do that. I would love to see our game playable in an environment where you're being strapped into a harness floating off of the ground, and you have two gloves with haptic feedback that you're actually using to grab the objects in the game. I would love to do that. If anyone could hook us up with this sort of experience, that would be fantastic. I think that would be the ultimate way to enjoy a type of game like this. Yes?
Sorry. Have you talked to any of the GLAs in the dongle games for adults that are used from?
We have not yet reached out to those types of people, but it's certainly on our radar, and that's something that we're very much looking forward to doing. We think there could perhaps be an application in transforming lots of our game's core systems into something like a virtual rock climbing gym. It's already kind of like that, just a lot more fun and video gamey. So, yes.
Yes. How do you
I didn't forget.
this game? Do you plan on how to get people purchase it, or do you plan on funding it with microtransactions?
Certainly the former more than the latter. We're lucky in that our business model is very self-explanatory. Make the game once, it's infinitely scalable, it's repeated, and we think that is more of the solution, keeping in track with the way that normal video game sales go. For mobile, you'll do the whole microtransaction thing, but I think that might be frowned upon in the market that we're trying to enter with this game. And it looks like I'm out of time, so thank you for all your questions. Hope you enjoyed us.
Thank you.